Code Afric. Unlock the future.
Welcome back, friends. We are still adding some finishing touches to our project, and we are still working with the animations. Okay, and on the previous lesson, we were able to go to this point, so we are continuing from here. Okay, and to start with, I would like to work with the images first. All right, so now let's apply it to the review and this one, the entire page too. So back to our HTML, we'll move to our testimonial section. Yes, here. All right, so here we apply it here. We say wow, then we give it fade in, down, big. Okay, and I would like us to apply the same thing to this row. Okay, fade in, down, big. Okay. All right, so now let's save it and check. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now let me refresh the page and check it all. All right, it's looking cool. All right. All right. Now let's go ahead and work on this section. Okay. The frequent asked question. Okay. So I will apply it to this one. Then I'll come to this place. Okay. All right. Now back to our project. Okay. So after this row, this place, yes, I'll apply it here. I'll give it wow that I say zoom in. And here I'll give it an effect. Okay. Duration. I'll give it a duration of 0.4 seconds, 0.4 seconds. Okay. All right. Now let's apply the effect to the next one, which is this place, this container at the accordion section. Okay, so now I'll give it a while, then I'll say bounce in, think left will do. Okay, then I'll give it a duration of 6 seconds. Okay, now let's apply it to the image. Okay, the image, yeah, the free image is here. So with a free image class, I'll give it bounce in right, and I'll give it a duration of 8 seconds. All right, now before anything, let's save it and check. Okay, it's looking awesome. Let me refresh. Then let's scroll. Let me refresh. Now let's scroll and check. Wow, it's looking awesome. All right, now let's go ahead and work on this section. Okay, the video section here. Back to our project. All right, so right at the class, video area class. Now let me add it. I'll give it bounce in up. Okay, something like this. Now let's save it and check. Refresh. Wow, it's cool. All right, let's move on. Now we are working for the block section. Okay, here. All right, now let's go ahead and work with the recent block. All right, now here, I'll apply it here. Okay, so wow, let's give it zoom in and let's add some duration. So duration of 0.2 seconds. Okay, now let's move on. Here, column MD 4, 6, and 12. Let me give it wow, then fade in left, something like this. And let me give it a duration of 4 seconds. Okay, now let's work on the last section for the block. That is here. Okay, now let's apply it to the last one. Okay, we give it wow, fade in right, something like this, and let's give it a duration of 6 seconds. Sorry, the duration of 0.6 seconds. Okay, all right, now let's save it and check. Refresh. Okay, it's looking awesome. Okay, it's looking cool. All right, let's move on. Now we are working for this section. Okay, the states with the counter. All right, now let's move on. Yeah, okay, so the counter section. All right, so right here, column MD3, let's give it wild fade in left, and let's give it a duration of 3 seconds, 0.3 seconds. Now let's apply it to the next one, and the duration, let's give it 0.6 seconds. We do the same to the next one here. And the duration we give it 0.9 seconds, and the last one here, and the duration, let's give it, I think 1.2 seconds will do. All right, now before anything, let's save it and check. Let's refresh. Wow, wow, it's looking cool, isn't it? All right. All right, I think we have covered enough for this. So let's commit our changes and push it. Okay. All right, so embedding animation with duration and delays working cool. All right, now let's commit and let's push it. Git push minus u origin main. Hit enter. All right, so guys, we are through with this section. Let's come back on the next one and continue. Welcome back, friends. We are continuing. When I scroll, our animation, everything is working fine. All right, so this is where we got to on our previous lesson. So we are proceeding to work on this section. Okay, so let's dive in. All right, now we scroll to the form. Okay, the form mockup here. All right, and I think it's starting from here. The main heading. Let's first start with this one. Okay, leave a message. Okay, this heading. Let's start with that one. And the main heading is coming from here. Here, I think it's coming from here. Okay, so here. So I'll apply it here. I'll give it fade in up. Okay, and I'll give it a duration of 0.2 seconds. Affecting what leave the message section. All right, now when you save and check, okay, you can see that it fade in up nicely. Okay, all right, now let's work on this section. Okay, all right, so I'll come here. Yeah, the first row here, I'll give it a while, fade in up. Okay, so for this one we are not giving it any duration. Okay, now let's refresh and see. All right, looking awesome. All right, looking cool. All right, now moving forward, let's go ahead and work on this section. Okay, this place. And I think we have to apply it the way we apply this one. You can see how this one, they step in one by one individually. We have to do the same to this one also. All right, now, so let's go and locate it and do likewise. Yes, I think we will need it from here, okay? Here, this open div to this closing div. So it's here, the contact item, okay? So we give it the same thing, while fade in left, okay, something like this. And let's give it a duration. The first one, give it a duration of 3 seconds, 0.3 seconds, something like this. And let's apply it to the rest. So I'll copy to save time. I'll copy and I'll come here and paste it here. Sorry, let me undo it. If I have to copy, then I have to copy from here. I think I have to copy all like this. Okay, so that when I'm pasting, I can highlight it like this and paste. Okay, so we'll have it like this. And for the third one too, I'll do the same. I'll paste like this. Then I'll change the durations. Okay, so the second one, I'll give it 6 seconds, 0.6 seconds. The third one, let's make it 0.9 seconds like this. Okay, all right, now before anything, let's save it and check. Okay, so we refresh and we can see how they spin in nicely. Okay, looking awesome. All right, now let's go ahead and work on the next section, which is the map here. All right, now with the map, we don't give it much. Okay, let's just give it fading up. Okay, so we give it fade in, fading up. Okay, with no duration, something like this. All right, now let's save it and check. So with our map, let's refresh. The map can delay because it works with the internet. Okay, so if the internet speed is not strong, the map will delay. Uh, I think we are cool. Yes, we are cool. Let's move on with the next section, which is the footer. Okay. Now with the footer, there are a lot of icons. Okay, you can see there are a lot of icons, and for each icon, I want to put a different value for each of the icons. Okay, so we will have a lot of work to do. Now we scroll down and starting from Facebook, so I'll give it fade in left. Okay, and I'll give it a duration of 0.3 seconds. And let's copy and paste. Let's copy and paste. We don't have to do a long typing. And again, if we are pasting everything, then we have to also paste the closing tag like this. Sorry. Let's do it again. Let's take it again. So from here, then let's copy from here, all including the closing, all including the closing tag. So we'll paste it from here, including the closing tag. All right, something like this. Later, we will change the duration. So let's apply it to the rest. All right, now we have changed all. Now we have to change the duration also. All right, so I've successfully changed the durations also. So the first one is 0.3, the second one is 0.6, the third one is 0.9, the fourth one is 1.2, the fifth one is 1.5, the sixth one is 1.8, the seventh one is 2.1, and the eighth one is 2.3, and the ninth one is 2.6. Okay. All right. Now, before anything, let's save it and check it. Now, I'm refreshing. I look at how it animates nicely. Looking awesome, right? It's looking cool, right? Okay. It seems we have a problem with this one, the Pinterest. The closing tag, that is 1, 2, 3, or 4. The fourth one. Let's check it. Okay, and there we go. It's here. It's here. Let's take this one out. Yes, and save it, and let's check it. And there we go. Wow, it's looking cool, isn't it? All right, so as at now, let's go through again and let's refresh it and scroll it one after the other for the last time. Okay, so now let's go. Wow, wow. All right, okay, okay. All right, guys, we did it. Okay, we did it. It's looking amazing. All right, so let's end here. Come back on the next one and look at how we can handle the responsiveness. All right. Now, before we go, let's commit our changes and push it. Now, let's give the commit message. All the parts animated successfully. All right. Now we commit and back here and let's push it. Git push -u origin main. Enter. All right, guys. Congratulations. Let's meet on the next one and learn more.
Code Afric. Unlock the future.
Welcome back, friends. In this episode, we are looking at how we can work with the responsiveness. Okay. And what I mean is that it's not all of our parts is looking responsive. Okay. For instance, when I turn the screen to let's say mobile screen size, we can see that it's not all the parts that are looking responsive, even though we work with some of the parts, but some also are the issue, okay, which we have to deal with. For instance, if you build this one as an app to someone, if you build this website for someone and the person trying to open it and look at how the accordion has been arranged here, it's not nice at all, okay? So when a person open it on the phone and find out that This is how the visibility shows on the phone. The person peradventure might call you and complain because it's not all that responsive in a mobile phone screen size. All right, so this is what we are going to do on this episode. All right, and we begin with the navigation. All right, so to work with responsiveness, I don't want to use Chrome. Okay, I like to use Firefox. You can use Chrome, but I think Firefox comes with more tools that make responsiveness working make more easier than comparing to Chrome. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll open my project with a Firefox. Okay, please, if you don't have Firefox, you can download one and use it. All right, or you can equally use Chrome, but maybe you might not get all the features that I will be showing you. All right, so from here, you right click on your project and go to inspect. All right, maybe you might wonder, maybe on your case, your sidebar will show at the down or maybe different side. It's not a problem at all. If you want to change it, you have to only click on this one. You have to click here, the three dots here, and give it the position that you want it. Okay, it can be at the bottom. When you click on that, it will come at the bottom, but I prefer it to be at the right section here. All right. All right, so to work with the responsiveness, you have to come here. Okay, you come here, click on this one, responsive design mode. Okay, you can see that here, looking at a phone and a tablet screen size here. So you click on that one and you have something like this. Okay, so with here, once you get this place, maybe you might not need this one for now, so you can close it. You can close this one so that we have this one. Okay, so for here, you can set any screen size or you can put it to any screen mode. Okay, all the mobile phone screen sizes are here, and also the iPhones and the tablet, all the screen sizes are here. So maybe you can select maybe Galaxy and you can see that you have it here. Okay, all right, so you can do that, and you can also drag it to your satisfaction. Okay, so all these features also are here for you to use. Okay, and you can also turn it to maybe a portrait mode or a landscape. Okay, anyhow you want it. And you can also manipulate this one. Maybe if you have a particular resolution that you want to set to, you can type them in here like that. Okay, let's say I want it 1160 by 4, let's say 430. Okay, something like this. Okay, so you can see that I have it like this. All right, now let me show you something. If you carefully look at this place, okay, and when I drag it, look at it too. I'm dragging it. The resolution, the responsiveness here also is moving. Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, when you get to somewhere 9 something, 97 something, it breaks. Okay, so when I take it back, you can see. So when it gets here, it breaks. Okay, this presupposes that even our navigation is not responsive. Okay, it's not acting responsive, so we have to work on that one too. All right, and to do that, you come to your Chrome and you search for. You can search for. You can type in. Okay, so you can type in Bootstrap, customize and download. Okay, and hit enter. So the very first one that would appear on your screen, click on that one to open, and it will take you to a page like this. All right. All right, so now on this page, when we scroll down, okay, we can see that we have the common CSS here, and also we have the components and the JavaScript components also here. Okay, and when you look at, we have the grid icons, we have the button groups, we have the input groups, we have the nav bar. Okay, we can see that the nav bar too is here. And when you scroll down, also when you go down, we can see from here also, scroll down to the typography. You can see that uh, all the things also are here. Okay, and also the font family options also are here, and inside the component section here, okay, all the component that we are seeing here, okay, we can see that we have the grid system. Okay, remember the responsiveness, the grid system also will help us. Is the one that will help us the more. Okay, so we will select the grid system like this. Check the grid system. All right, so here we can see that we have the grapefruit breakpoint. Okay, so the grapefruit breakpoint, let's change this one. Okay, let's put in 11.99 pesos. 11.99 pesos. Okay, and after this one, we are customizing it. Okay, we are customizing it. So when we go up, make sure that the navbar is selected. Okay, make sure if it's not selected, make sure it's selected. Then the grade Yeah, 1199 pesos. So after that, you scroll down, go down, scroll down, and you will see something like this. Compile and download. You can see that your customized version of Bootstrap is now ready to compile. Just click on the button below to finish the process. Okay, so now you are going to download it. So click on that, and you can see that it has been downloaded here. Okay, a very quick one. All right, so now I will open it. I will open it. So it will take me to my download folders. I have unzip the file, and here you see a Bootstrap. Okay, when I open it like this, you can see that it comes with a JSON file and a CSS font and JS. Okay, now let's begin with the CSS. So I'll open the CSS, and now the file that I'm going to use is the bootstrap.main.css, this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy it inside my project folder in CSS. So I'll come to my CSS and I'll drag this folder. Let me copy. I'll copy the folder and paste it here. Okay, like this, bootstrap.main.css. And then I will also need the JS file. Okay, so I'll come to the JS folder, and you can see bootstrap.main.js. All right, so I'll come here inside my JS folder. I will copy this file to copy, and I'll paste it in here like this. Now, as usual, let's go ahead and link the files. Okay, so we will open our project. Now, inside the index, let's get at the top. All right, so right here, are the font awesome CDN files. Okay, you can see that we linked our Bootstrap file is here. Okay, you can see that font awesome.main.cs CSS is here, and from that you can see that the Bootstrap files also is here, bootstrap.main.cs. Now this is the Bootstrap cnd file that we linked. Okay, which is calling the Bootstrap classes from the internet directly for us. Now we're going to link it manually, so we don't need this one. Okay, so I will delete it from here. Okay, something like this, and with the href, then I will call my CSS class, then I'll reference my bootstrap.main.css, bootstrap.main.css, and here I can give it a type of test/css. Okay, now after this one, we have to move on to JavaScript. The JS section too is here. Okay, all right, so from here, this one too, we linked it. Okay, and we are calling from the internet, so let's take it out, and now let's link the file. So js slash, then the file name bootstrap.main.js, and I can give it a type of test/javascript. Okay, all right, so now let's check it. Okay, now that we have linked it successfully, let's check our project. Okay, so from here, at first, when we break it from 990 going, that's where we were having the problem. So let's put in the 990. Okay, all right, now you can see in 990 you can see that it's no more breaking. Let me show you again. Let's drag it ourselves. You can see now like this, when we drag it, okay, you can see that it is no more breaking, but it is giving us this one. Okay, that we can click it. Why, looking awesome. All right, okay, so now you can see it is looking awesome. Okay, the navigation is looking awesome. All right, it's looking so beautiful. All right, now that'll be all. Let's commit our changes and push it. Okay, all right, making navigation bar responsive. Now let's commit. Now let's push it. Okay, let's push it. Git push -u origin main. All right, congratulations guys, we're able to push our project. Let's come back on the next one and continue.
Code Afric. Unlock the future.
Welcome to our final episode for this live transforming front-end development training. All right guys, I'm very sad to end this lesson with you, but however we still have to end it. Okay, so on this episode, what we are going to do is that we are going to work on the responsiveness. We are still on the responsiveness. Okay, so if you can check from this, we were able to work on the responsiveness for the navbar. Okay, and our navbar is acting responsive, but then here if you check inside this place, it is not responsive at all. Okay, because when we drag it like this, we can see that it has break 8 points. Okay, you can see how it is breaking. It means that on a small screen size, which is mobile phone screen size, it's not going to act responsive. Okay, so we are going to do that with the help of media query. All right, so let's dive in. Now back to our HTML. We are going to create a file. Okay, and to do that, we click here, then and the file is a CSS file. So I'll click on the CSS folder and I'll come here to the file. This is a file and this is a folder. We are creating a file, not a folder. Okay, so we come here, then we click on it and we give the file name. Okay, so we call it responsive CSS. So responsive.css. Okay, then we hit enter. Now the file has been created. Now, if you want to be sure that your file has been successfully created, you can come to your project folder like this. Now, inside the project folder, you can open your CSS and you can see that we have our responsive.css file in. Now, let's go ahead and link this file that we just created. Okay, so we come to our HTML and at the very top. All right, so now I'll begin with a comment. So I'll copy this one right here. I'll paste it here, then change the name responsive CSS file. Okay, something like this. Now let's go ahead and link it. And I'll begin with a link because it's a CSS file. Okay, when it's JavaScript file, then I have to start with a script, or a jQuery file, then I have to start with a script. But CSS, we begin with a link. So a link with an href, and we give it CSS folder, then the file name responsive.css, and let's give it a reference of style sheet. Okay, and we can give it a type of text/CSS. Okay, all right, now it has been linked successfully. All right, so now before we move on, we are going to write some code here. Okay, but before then, let's get back to our responsive side. Okay, we have opened our project with Firefox. Okay, make sure you do that. Then at the responsive side here, now let's check the points whereby we are getting the breakpoints. Okay, let's check it. So now you can see that from here, everything is working fine. At the position of 1122, everything is working fine. What if we move further? Even 9 is working fine. Even with 7, it's working fine. 6 is working fine. What about 5? It's still working fine. So at what point did it break? So I think, yeah, from 4. Okay, from the position of 4, it's not working fine. So this is the breakpoint. Okay, so now that we have seen 8 breakpoints, then we can apply our media query. Now, before we move on, let me show you something. Okay, for the breakpoints, maybe yours, the resolution might be different from mine. Okay, so take a proper look at it. Okay, so 446 is not breaking. 442 is still not breaking. What about 440? It breaks. 440, it breaks. Let's go backward a bit. Okay, 46 is not breaking. 44 is not, okay, 44 it breaks. 44 it breaks. Let me check 45. 45 is not breaking. So the breakpoint starts from 45. Okay, sorry, the breakpoint starts from 46. 46. Yeah, even 46 is not breaking. Okay, so let's check 47. Oh, sorry. We're supposed to decrease it rather. So let's check 44. Okay, 44 it breaks. Now let's check 45. Okay, so 45 does not break. So the breakpoint is what? 44. Okay, the breakpoint is 44. And here the convention is that whenever you find a breakpoint, when you are writing the code, you must add 1 to it. Okay, so now that we have 444, so the code will be 445. Okay, that is the convention. All right, so now let's enter into our responsive.css and let's write the code. So it begins with at media, then we say screen, and then I'll do max, then I'll give it a width, max width, then I'll specify the width. Okay, So we got 444. So it will be 445. Okay, pixels, something like this. All right. So what this means is that whenever somebody or whenever your website is open on any screen size, okay, being a tablet or a phone or whatsoever, if the screen resolution is less than 445, when it is less than 445, then the code that you are going to write here will rather affect the screen resolution, or it will rather affect it, okay. But when it is more than 445, then the normal default one that we have applied, okay, coming from Bootstrap and Co, that one rather would work fine and it will make it responsive. But when it is below 445, then the code that we are going to apply here rather will take effect. Okay, simple as that. All right, so it will be like this. Okay, so inside here is where we are going to write our code, but then we are going to tackle the text here. Okay, the text here and the animation here, we are going to remove them, or we are going to modify them. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we have to find its class. So when we come to the HTML, where can we find that class? Yes, it's here. Okay, so we can see the slider here. So we reference this class, and we also use this test, and this test is what we use to reference the animation in the JavaScript. Let me show you. So inside our main.js, like this, when you scroll up, you can see from here that we have our text here. Okay, so this class, okay, is the one that is containing all the animation, the text animation here. You can see that is here. It's even here. I love coding and to share. Okay, they are all here. All right, so now how would the code be? Okay, so the code will be dot slider then dot test. Okay, so let's go into our responsive CSS and let's write the code. All right, so inside here the code will be dot slider then dot test, something like this. Okay, and inside we are giving it a display of none. So what this means is that whenever the resolution becomes less than 445, then the animation will not appear. Okay, it will not come at all. All right, now let's save it and check. Okay, so all things being equal, below 445 we will not get any animating test. So now let's refresh. Okay, so we are in what, 444, which is lesser than 445. Okay, so now let's refresh and see, and there we go. We can see that we don't have any animation test. Okay, all right, that this is what I'm talking about. What if we increase it? Okay, we can see that when I increase it now, it is animating nicely, but when I decrease it to 442, it's not animating again. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. But then we can see that we still have a blinking. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove that blinking bar too. All right, so we have to find the class. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now to find the class, I think the CSS rather will help us to get it faster. Okay, now the class is here. Okay, it's the type Keza. Okay, this one. All right, so you can see that that is where we implement the class. Okay, so now let's go ahead inside our responsive. So now I have to call the main class, which is the slider. Then I'll call the type Keza, typed then Keza. Okay, something like this. Now here we give it a display of none. Okay, so type dot is dot. Okay, type dot typed Keza. Okay, now let's check it. Now let's refresh, and there we go. We can see that we don't have anything. Okay, awesome. All right, so by then when we scroll further, let's check the button. Okay, we can see that the button, we are having something like overlapping. Okay, the button is overlapping. We can see. So now let's find the class of the button so that we can work on that one too. Now to find the class, we come to the HTML, and we are still inside the slider. Okay, we are still inside the slider. So we can see that the main class is the slider. Aside that one, there's an anchor link here, which is the A. And we have what, the btn1 and btn2. So the code will be slider A dot btn1 and btn2. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, now let's go ahead. So we give it dot slider, then we do A dot btn1, then we do A dot btn2. Okay, something like this. Then we can give it a display of block, and we can give it a width of 100%. Okay, so that it will cover the full width. Now let's save it and check. So back to the project. Now I'm refreshing. Okay, let's see. Wow, you can see how the button has been aligned nicely. Okay, so when we span it, okay, you can see it is working perfectly. All right. So now let's move on to the next section. Okay. So let's check this section. Okay, let's find the breakpoint of this section. Okay, so it's working fine, but what if it goes further? Okay, when it goes further, then it has a problem. So we have to also find its breakpoint and also work with this section also. So now let's increase it further. 295 is still not 299. Okay, 299 it's working fine. Then 297. Okay, 297. There's a problem. Okay, so could the breakpoint be 297? Let's add one to it and see. 298. Okay, so the breakpoint is 297. Okay, 297. Okay, so now the code will be 298. Okay, we add one to it so that it will be 298. All right, so now let's go ahead and do that. And to begin with, let's copy this one. Now we copy this one and bring it here. And I open my curly braces. Now let's go ahead and search for the class in which this falls into. Okay. All right, so to find the class, we come to our HTML and it's at the service section. Okay, so the service, so here we have service area, and moving forward. Now inside the service, we can see that we have the service area. Now I'm targeting the test. Okay, so I will not go for the service or the service area, but I will tackle the service wrap. Okay, this one, the service wrap. Then I'll call the p tag. Okay, because I'm going to decrease the font so that it would align nicely. Okay, so the code will be dot service wrap, then the p. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here I'll do dot service wrap, then p. Okay, then I'll give it a font size of 13 pixels. All right, something like this. And don't forget to change this one. Okay, we copied it, so you might forget. Don't forget to change this. So here we make it 29. We got 297, right? So then we add one to it, so making 298. Okay, so 298. Now let's save it and let's check it. Now under the position of 297. Now that we have not refreshed it, look at how it is. Okay, now let's refresh it and see. Refresh, and let's check it again. And we can see that even under the resolution of 297, it is still act responsive. Okay, awesome. All right, so at this time, let's take our time and go through if there is anything to work with. Okay, so we are scrolling. Okay, we are scrolling down. Awesome. Now everything is working fine here. Everything is working fine here. What about the next page? Wow, even this place also is looking responsive. When I click on it, you can see the navigation arrows, everything is working responsive. Okay, all right, the member section, it is also responsive. Okay, now we can navigate to the next section like that, and they are all working fine. Okay, wow. Okay, so the testimonial also is working fine. When I navigate, it's working fine. Okay, and the frequent asked question, okay, that one too is working fine. It's working fine. Guys, we did it. We did it. Okay, we did it. All right, the block section also, they are working fine. Well and perfectly aligned. Wow, the counter section also is working fine. Wow, 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 wow. And the form also is working fine. Wow. The contact section also is working fine. Our map also is being embedded correctly. And our footer, it is also working fine. Responsive as expected. All right, guys. Thank you so much for making time with me from the beginning to the end of this lesson. I pray that all the time, the resources that you invested in this training would never be in vain. Okay, this is going to be a starting point of your life, and you're going to see the hand of the Lord working towards you. I love you all for making time and sitting down and learning with me. Okay. Now, if you have any question whatsoever be the case, I am much more available to assist you. May the Lord be with you, guide you, and protect you in what everything doing. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Anyway, before we go, let's commit our changes and let's push it at a go. All right, now let's give it a commit message. Now I will say final project, then I will say all parts responsive. Okay, then I will commit. I'll come here and let's push it. Get push minus u origin main, enter. All right, big congratulations to you all, guys. You were able to follow from the beginning to the end, and you have made this project, and it's a great start. Okay, it's a great start. All right, don't forget to reach out anytime you need any assistance. I'll be very much happy to assist you. Anyway, I have one task for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is that with a transparent nav bar, okay, the navigation bar here, when it enter into the white place, you can see that it is not visible. So I would like you to use your own experience to do something about it, so that when you scroll to a place that it is nice like that, at least it will get some background appearing. Okay, to making it more awesome. Okay, and then also this place I love coding and to share. Okay, when you compare it to the original one, where is the original project? When you compare it to the original one, is here. You can see that there is some intervals here. For this one, I intentionally leave it there for you. Okay, so that you crack your brain and do it for yourself. All right, God bless you. Stay tuned. Happy coding. I love you all. Bye.